Hello and welcome to your Monday music recommendation. This is Obscura and Dead. I'm Azzy.
I'm Mouse.
And this Monday, we have a goth rock band for you, Ashes Fallen, who released their second album, A Fleeting Melody Out of a Fading Dream, on June 4th this year, 2021. So we're a little behind.
Just a little. I think it's more like their third album. They're based out of Sacramento, and they have three members. James Perry on lead vocals, guitar, bass guitar, Michelle Perry on keyboard, percussion, vocals, and Jason Shaw also on guitar.
Yeah, so this is a band with two guitarists and a keyboardist.
Yes, and what we're hearing on this album is goth rock meets post-punk meets some 90s metal?
Iron Maiden, maybe?
Old school Megadeth, maybe? Slight. It's very, very slight.
There's a very definite metal undertone to this album, which is actually very, very scaled down from their first release, their self-titled release, Ashes Fallen, back in 2019. And from what I understand, this was a deliberate choice. They kind of pulled their sound back a little bit, kind of opened it up, relied less on these overpowering metal guitars, and now you just kind of get them in like little solo riffy bits, like on the first track of the album is like, it was immediately apparent, Stand Your Ground. When James wasn't singing, it was like this chugging like rhythm guitar style, and then a little metal flare at the end of the bar. And I'm like, oh, that's a metal flare.
I think Stand Your Ground was one of my favorite tracks. It's still got this like romantic goth rock vibe to it. Mm-hmm. But the lyrics are all, actually most of the lyrics for this album are talking about like the shortcomings of society, and they've all got this like really strong message about like just being tired of the world. And I think that's mostly why I liked the first track. And then as the songs went on, I realized that all of the songs kind of had that same message.
All of the songs kind of have that same message up until you get to about track 7 with Vampira, the Ballad of Mila, which is something that Michelle insisted on having on the album, a tribute to Mila Nurmi, who is famous for, having been the horror hostess with the mostest smallest waist.
With the smallest waist, yes. She's amazing. I think that song stands out because of that. So the lyrics are very different, but the music is still within the style of the rest of the album.
I just like the chorus, just oh Mila.
Vampira.
Yeah.
And there's also a fun music video to go along with this.
Mm-hmm. But this one was definitely one of my highlights because it tells the story. No one ever talks about Mila. People write songs about Vampira. Is it Vampira or Vampira? I always say Vampira. Who knows? Someone will correct me. And no one ever tells a story about Mila. And the first fucking line of this song is, "You starved yourself for 17, made yourself a vision of fantasy."
Wow. Right off the bat. So aside from that song, there are a couple of more tracks at the very end that are slower, more somber. The album did say that it was dedicated to their mothers. So it could be a dedication to that, because like the last song, Requiem, is talking about like cherishing your memory, we carry your melody. So I thought that was very personal. But those are the only other songs that are different from the rest of the album.
Mm-hmm. But overall, I like this album. I think it was definitely a strong follow-up to Ashes Fallen, their debut, which that one was hit or miss for me. This one is like mostly hit.
Yeah, yes, the whole first half of the album is like strong, catchy, like anthemic kind of goth rock stylings. It does have some metal-inspired guitar solos though. And your vocals, James Perry's vocals, are very fun, very clear. I think to improve on them a little bit, I would have pulled them back a little bit more into the music.
Oh, so I would have liked to hear a little bit of reverb, like what Michelle has on her vocals.
Exactly. Like, I think it needs a little bit of that to be more solid goth rock. Mm-hmm. Or even Darkwave as well uses a lot of the reverb.
Yeah, but I do like the whole guitar forward bit of this album where you have both of them playing a guitar. There's, and by both of them, I mean Jason and James. They've been playing together for like 20 years, 30 years, I don't know, something like that. And I like the relationship that they kind of have with their guitars. Like, one isn't obviously the lead or rhythm. They kind of just flow in and out of each other and doing different things. And it actually makes it a really dynamic guitar-driven album. And I like that.
I agree. All right. Yeah. So, favorite track?
My favorite track is probably the Ballad of Myla.
All right. Mine will be We Belong Nowhere. That was very chanty and like just
that's really the one you hear on almost all the streams. Like
yes, it's classic, instant classic.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I guess then I'll pick a lyric from We Belong Nowhere. Displaced by wheels of progress, frayed edge of society torn, like autumn leaves were scattered. I don't know this place anymore.
Very nice. All right. I guess I will leave you with your mousy inspirational quote. If you want the rainbow, you got to put up with a little rain. Remember that you are loved and believe in yourself, and go out there and absolutely smash it.
Awesome. See you guys later for Wednesday when we talk about the new Clan of Zymox album, and Friday when we talk about the new S's. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
This